Alright, let's see if this works. Everything should be good. And it is not. Or is it? It is good. Is it recording audio? It's recording audio. Visual's good. Let's see if it records picture well. Of course, I need to put an overlay and move my mic. Act like I'm not new with this. See, just general shapes. It looks good. It looks good. So we're gonna start with a new canvas. Alright, hello everyone. Obviously, I'm still Zay. Today, I'm going to be starting a very new, idea or a very new part of the channel. Obviously, this is Minecraft. I know you guys are used to me playing Minecraft. Today, I wanna get back more into my roots. I used to draw all the time, and it seems like I don't draw a lot anymore. I don't think I'm a bad artist. Obviously, you can always get better, but you only get better spending time in your profession, getting better at your craft, doing things along those lines. So, to kind of force myself to get better, I want to dedicate like Mondays or some day of the week. I'll get a schedule made between this and Minecraft, so I have even content being created, maybe like every other day. Hop on at the same time every day, so you guys know at this certain time to this certain time, I'll be streaming. It's a new concept to me, a very new concept to me. Drawing and being on live, so it's gonna be different. It's gonna be an adjustment from like our normal gameplay to having to vocalize in a different way. But I feel like we're kind of keen and able to smoothly make that transition. In the description, I did say that I was going to be taking advice from the live. So if you guys have any ideas, by all means, let me know, and I'll try to help as best as I can. Worst comes to worst, I'm going to give it a couple minutes. If nobody comments in the live chat for any like drawing ideas, then I'm just going to go to Google, and we'll just do like a random generator, which honestly I think is going to be best because it is a new concept, and I don't want to waste too much of people's time, especially if somebody's coming in and they're like, oh, this guy hasn't even drawn yet, and that's why I came here. So that's going to be nice. You guys are able to see everything that I have on my stuff. This is a little bit of... I'll put it back up when I get it. Just because I don't want you guys being nosy. I know how the internet is. So if you guys are wondering what I'm doing this on, I have two monitors that are Dell's, and then I have a 22-inch Huey on canvas. I've worked on it a little bit, so I kind of have like background with it, but it is a newer piece of equipment. And I'm using Photoshop to draw in, and that in itself it's not complex, but there's a lot of parts to do a lot of specific things. So I'm not the best. I'm not saying I'm one of the best out here. This isn't a tutorial by any means. It's more of a let me sit down with you guys and dedicate some of my time to bettering my craft, So I don't want to say this isn't for you guys, obviously, because a lot of media is, but it is going to be more so for me than it is for you guys. So we'll go to random things generator, maybe. Let's do random drawing idea generator. We got random drawing idea generator, random list generator on randomlistgenerator.com. I want to use something with art in the name. Art prompt, a prompt generator for artists.org. Sure. So I'm gonna drag my screen over here now. You guys can see this. So as you can see, we're on artprompt.org. I've never been to this site. Hopefully it doesn't get my computer a virus. We have welcome to the only prompt generator made just for artists. Choose a category, prompt, and draw. Easy. Character, creature, environment, object, situation, challenge, or contribute. It looks like a lot of this is just like common stuff about their website. You guys can go through this if you want to after the live and kind of see how it works for you. I'm going to do, because I'm still working on my style for characters, I think I want to do creature. Creatures are kind of just easier because you can't be like, oh, that doesn't look like a person. So we do creature. This is not a creature. Oh, what was that? What was that last one? I didn't realize it gave us the thing. Oh, well. Alright, I guess we'll just go back in. I didn't realize it gave you a thing. It's so small, it's down here. That's mermaid basking on a rock. It's kind of generic. Let's see what else we get. Pegasus flying through the side. No. A misunderstood sea monster. None of these are screaming, draw me. A disinterrogating brown zombie. That's not what that said. That definitely said disintegrating. A disintegrating zombie. If you can't tell, I can't spell. Honestly, I don't like too many of these. I thought I'd see it and just be like, oh yeah, these are really cool. A cat chasing a ball of yarn. These are kind of generic. Let's see if we can. We're gonna see if we can get something better. When I was doing it, I seen one by Jazza, who is also in. He's a YouTuber who draws a lot. He has amazing drawings. He has an amazing channel. He's always doing something fun. I used to watch him all the time. I don't watch him too much anymore. But Jazza, Jazza, he's a really good artist, and we're gonna see if we can use some of his stuff. Does he have a? I guess he doesn't have it. Drawfree is another one. Let's see, is there names up here? It's right here. Drawfree is another YouTube. Like a YouTube channel that does art, and we're gonna see what they got. An extremely forgiving Batman attacking Ant-Man with dual Uzis. That's a lot. Extremely forgiving Batman. I feel like we could just do a whole stream of reading prompts. Extremely singing Daniel. I don't know who this is, honestly. Radcliffe flexing their muscles. An overly important Green Goblin speaking in Wingdings. Overly important Green Goblin. A bird person running absolutely everything for everyone. Person ruin absolutely everything for everyone. Bird person. I want more or less like a character design, not so much like a backstory. Okay. These are really random. I'm reading these kind of fast. I'm sorry. A lot of, I guess they use dual Uzis a lot. We've gotten it like 3 times. I don't want to draw somebody drawing somebody. There's a lot of famous people in here. Let's see what they got. They don't. A monster going on vacation, but it's awful. Green Goblin answering wife's most woeful questions. Black Widow wishing you a Merry Christmas. Character from Resident Evil, but okay, this is something. A character from Resident Evil that has a Metroid boss. What is Metroid? Oh, the character. All right, this is something. This. We're taking this and we're gonna run with it. Let's see. We got. Look up Metroid. Bosses. Images. It's like a really pixelated like so I got a collection of pictures. I'm gonna drag over. We'll do this. Can we overlay this with this? Can I bring this over? I want to bring this on. Let's see if we can do this. We'll do desktop. And then we need a Resident Evil boss. A Resident Evil. What was the prompt? I already forgot. A character from Resident Evil is a meteoroid boss. A character. The first one that comes to me is that last boss in Resident Evil 4. Like the big dude at the end. I think it's a little kid. It's been a long time since I played Resident Evil. But it was like, or is it not a kid? It's like a priest or something, right? Yeah, it's like a priest. I'm thinking of the priest that turns into that big spider thing. Or that one, like the one thing that was like in the sewers. There's a lot of pictures. Okay. A character. Or we can just do a person and turn them into a creature. But I feel like using like a... Let's do a character, actually. It did say character, and I feel like I'd be cheating if I just remade something that was already created. So we're gonna use... Let's see, we have... This is the hard part. This is all the stuff that, you know, professional YouTubers would do behind the scenes, and then you get the content. But we get to go through the process, because that's what I said. I said it, and I meant it. Alright. I know one of the biggest characters in Resident Evil is Alice. We have Jill. We have Leon. Claire. Let's do want to say I want to do Alice or Leon, just because they're like the two most known characters from Resident Evil. Let's go Leon. Let's go Leon. Everybody knows him. He was a very popular character when I played Resident Evil. So we're gonna go with him. Let's see if we get a good. And just because I remember Resident Evil 4 so much, we're gonna get a Resident Evil 4 Leon. And then I'm gonna see if I can't show you on screen while I do it. I'm just gonna drag it over, but I should be able to do this. So we have this, right? And I gotta make it smaller. So we have this as the. We're gonna use this kind of as like a template for the drawings, and then we have Leon as. So this is the image of Leon that we're gonna be using. And then where is the other image I lost? And then this is, we're gonna try to turn him into a Metroid character. And just looking from this collection of like a lot of bosses from that game, it doesn't look like there's any like singular outstanding like designs. They all have. So I'm gonna drag these off screen. I'll bring them back on as we do more things. So let's do this. We'll do layer 1 rename. We'll make this. We'll do Leon first because that was the first part of the prompt, and then we'll do the second layer as Metroid. Hopefully I didn't spell that wrong. And then we'll do a third layer as. I rename my layers because it's very easy to get confused on this. We'll do design for the character design once we get a middle ground for both. So again, real quick, I'll show you guys. We're gonna be doing a merge between Leon and Metroids, and this is the criteria we're using for him. I want to. I think for each layer, I'm gonna do what stands out and kind of bring it together. So for him, just kind of starting at the head, we have a rounded off chin, hair kind of flows in front of the face, a little off curve of that, it's kind of goes straight. As that center part kind of like curves out like that, comes down. So this is like the basic head look. The neck doesn't really show. It's kind of just there. Oh, I can't get this jaw. It's hard because his jaw, the image that I'm looking at is like cut off. So we're just going to assume his jaw goes like that. He has a weird head. That's fine. And then his head's kind of down. So we have like a tilted down head look. Obviously, that's his mouth. From his body, kind of has long arms. So let's pretend shoulders come out here. His arms are kind of just looking from the image. Even though the cock back is kind of long, so we do longish arms. So I got a broad. He has a like broad look to his body, and then his chest. You can see that kind of has like the under rib type thing, like abs should be, but it's really not. And we're gonna see what his legs are like. He has his finger sticking out of the gloves for these, so maybe that's like a thing that we can kind of depict. It's like his fingers. I mean, I know his body's a rough shape, which is fine, because we just want to get like the general look. We have. I'm just gonna redo his head. We have half a face. This is covered. Eyes kind of sticking out, and then we have like broad shoulders, long arms, legs aren't really seen, so we can be creative with that. I think we're good for this one. We're gonna go to the Metroid, and we're using this image just to illustrate. I'm not gonna keep it on screen, but I'm putting it on so you guys can kind of see it for a little bit. Again, there's no outstanding features, but I'm just gonna kind of pick what kind of stands out for me. Like just looking at the screen now, you see a lot of the long teeth, so that's gonna have to be a thing. There's like, I want to say there's a lot of like the big eye kind of design, or like there's long legs here. There's like a long body. It's kind of hard to see a lot of the legs. I'm assuming this is. Can't even tell what that is. It's like a long body here. That kind of looks like a. I'm terrible because I don't know all the characters. It kind of looks like a long part of the arm. So I'm gonna bring this back over. For them, they kind of have like the big eyes. They're kind of like dull. They don't really have there's no life in them. It's kind of just like that. They're all about teeth. There's a lot of teeth. A lot of like this. There's a lot of teeth. So that's something like that. Something like this. And they have like rows too. Maybe there's some teeth back here or something. I want to say there's like a lot of insects. Like they kind of have that insect feel. So maybe instead of a lot of teeth, we just do like a couple big teeth in the middle, like this. And obviously he has like a nasty mouth, maybe like a tongue coming out or something. Like something gross, you know. And then he has like a like a I want to make it look gross. So maybe he has like, instead of like a mouth like this, something like this, where like the little finger type what is it called, like, are they teeth technically? They might be teeth. Come out like that, and they're all like gross like the drill's oozing off, you know. And then it's like the upper lip, and like they're in there, they're coming out. And this is in his mouth, so you get to see all the gums. Gums are gross, right? Like that. This is part of it. And then at the bottom they have the big teeth. And obviously those are attached to the gums. And they might have some like little gums, maybe a little bit on the top, something like that. And here, so we kind of skipped a step for the design. Just went to straight design from the Metroid, because it's with this prompt, it's really hard to pull key features from like the reference that we're using. I think this is a move in the right direction. Is there anything else that stands out? Lots of legs, so you can do multiple legs. But besides that, I don't think there's too much inspiration we can take from here. Maybe like antennas or something. Lots of like antennas, just something to be gross. It just has to be gross. I think that's really just that's like the point of like every boss, is just to be gross. It just has nasty little breathable hairs and stuff like that. Where's my Kanban? Like that. Maybe like this is all part of one body. For some reason he has like gills or something on the side. It's like this big tail. Cause it could be like a fish too, right? I mean, it's not going to. Once we get to the edit, I'm just letting you guys know now. But just to not limit ourselves, I kind of want to be free with this. It's a fin. This is one of those, like, I know a lot of rock monsters have them. It's like that little hook. It's usually on the back. You can do a back one too. And then it has like, here it has like, for some reason, it's just a fish with like these nasty arms that are like really beefy. It has these claw-like fingers. Obviously, you know, they gotta have the nails, so that like grossness, something like that. Is that gross enough? I feel like that's gross enough. We're gonna take this, counter with this. Let's I'm going to, we'll do the dragon move. That's not what I meant to do. Is it? Oh, it is. Oh wait, I'm not selecting that. There we go. How do you... Welcome to Morning Photoshop with me. is this? I don't want to crop. I want to make it smaller. Can we make it smaller? Maybe you can make it smaller. That's for the whole page. What if I just want to move this? Edit. I don't know. Alright. We're just gonna be complicated and do it like this. Which honestly, I don't even think we need. We don't even need all that stuff on the left. So we're gonna go to brushes. Let's get a fat brush that we're not gonna use. I like the eraser. And we don't need none of this. Get rid of all this. Yeah. And then for the bottom, how do you deselect? This is more like a talking to myself thing. I mean this like this. We'll do turn this down. Turn this down. That's too much. That's fine. I know we'll do the design. So for really annoying me that that's like that. You stop that from being like that. There. Make it a little lighter. I want it to be barely visible. There we go. And then what is this? Let's make this 6. Make this 4. I like the lines. So taking both of these, putting them together. Half its face needs to be covered. Half its face needs to be covered, but it needs to have a big eye. So I'll have like a big eye on one side. I think one of the scariest things, or like one of the creepiest things, are like slimy like skulls where like the organs are kind of sticking out. So just taking that in consideration. I'm just staring at these two now. I'm not looking at the original reference material, just kind of looking at what we pulled from both images. It's not really going to look like Leon after this. Just know it's Leon inspired. Let's say we have a skull, and I think I'm just going to go off of my brain wants to remember skulls. It's like seeing something like this, and then I forgot this was so big. Something like this. because the face has to kind of be covered. And then the nose or the eye would be this like big thing here. And maybe it's not covered. Put this side of the face is split like this. This comes in the middle. So it comes. Maybe it's inside. No, I don't like that. Let's sketch that. Because I don't know how I want it looking. Like, I kind of want it to be rough draft. If it's head on, I'm gonna have to cut it like this. And then what will the body be doing? Something like that. It's like slithered back, you know? Or is it something like, looking up at you? Or it's just like a, something like that. Whatever going on up here. Maybe a couple little horns or something like that. And like its body's underneath them. So be like here. And I'm kind of just making shapes so it makes sense. And then like reaching up maybe. I don't know what I want, a spider and a snake. We can do it upside down. Do like an upside down thing and have like kind of have like a bat. That makes it creepy. I think honestly the base image that we got here, like this one right here, is like one of the best looking things. I think we just got to do more with the body. I think we got to do more with the body. So we're gonna, keeping that in mind, let's make this a lot bigger. I feel like sitting there and rehearsing a lot. Let's keep this image, but work it more. So we'll have, because we need the big teeth. So we need something like that. Maybe even tiny teeth. No. We need those. We're gonna need the big ones at the bottom. So they're gonna have to be connected to something, so we're gonna need a little bit of gum. Just kind of show that. Maybe some divots for other teeth are. It always has like the broken tooth for some reason. Maybe this is like a thing that younger me used to do, but for some reason it was always like a broken tooth. Maybe make this one like cant in more, just to add a little more shape, like that. Add some value to the tooth. And then let's have a couple like slashes in the lip, like it's been through some stuff. Makes it seem like it's not playing around, you know? And then it comes down. Because those creepy, like, smile mouths for some reason always seem to, like, freak me out. Where it's like, it comes down to the side and has, like, the gum to it. You know, like, it has a, like, stretchiness. That's just, like, gross to me. Something like that. Yeah. And then this would be just come like up here. And maybe we, instead of taking the leg things, kind of make them come out like at you. So it'd be something like this. Top one of this would be like this. No, that's off. Does it come down? Does it overbite or underbite? Let's try the underbite. Something like this. It comes in. That tooth looks weird. Just gotta sharpen it. Maybe this tooth is turned entirely. Like it's like this. Like it comes in. And then like that. And then we cut off some of the teeth with gum. Just to exaggerate how it's coming out the mouth. That looks pretty gnarly. I don't know how many times in my life I've ever used the word gnarly. But now it's been twice. I'm gonna add small teeth just for now because it looks like something belongs here. Doesn't it? Like, why not? I don't think I'm tripping, right? That looks good, I think. It's different. Does it have a tongue? Now I gotta go back for reference material because I don't know what the inside of the mouth looks like. Are there tongues? Some just have eyes in the mouth. Some have like tongues. Some is just like a dark space. Maybe we do like, make it seem like this. A little bit of tongue, like one of those like maybe like split tongues. Some gum lining. Half the face needs to be gone. So maybe instead of half the face being gone, just different from the other part of the face. I don't see too many noses in this, so we're just gonna make like a bump. I'm gonna say like the main eye goes off to the side. You get like the top part of the eye, something like that. It's like something like this. That's too much detail. It has like a. It's hard to explain. Maybe we go with like the bug eye. Now I'm looking at the reference. There's like it's like a beetle looking thing. It has an eye like this. It's kind of just like this. And it has like muscle strands that kind of like lead to the eye. Like that. And we just like darken. Darken parts around the eye. Maybe inside the eye as well. Is that too much? Maybe it's too much. Let's less darken. Just do like a light glaze over the eyes. Like that. Like it's kind of like blind, you know, it has that like blind effect. Something like that. And then this is separated by maybe like a part of like bone or something. Kind of going with that same design for the jaw, where it has like that rigidness to it. And then we have maybe like a cluster of eyes on this side. Like, yeah, some of that. Like this. The skin goes in. This, but then we have an eye right off of that. And then an eye right off of this. And you got your like little like this. Like that. And then the eyes kind of turn into these like nasty looking egg things. By the way, I'm really proud of myself because I've drinking almost a gallon of water today. It's my first time getting close to ever doing anything like that. And I can do it before I go to sleep, no problem. I don't think I'm gonna have any issues with finishing the water. Just a side note. I'm proud of myself, and I guess I wanna brag about it. I'm something brag worthy, right? It's not narcissistic to talk about how you almost finished a gallon of water. Maybe. Alright, what are we gonna do for under the mouth? It kinda has like these like reinforced, like they grew from somewhere. Cause the teeth didn't just spawn there, you know? So maybe we need to have like this portray where they came from. And then I don't think we're keeping these things along the mouth. So we can kind of just bring this back in like this. And then how we can connect the body. So ears. Well, their ears. No, there's a lot of spikes. There's a lot of spikes. Right. So maybe for this side, it has like a horn type thing. Come up like this. Kind of bumps off. It's like a major horn off this way. Give it some shape. Like that. And then this kind of splits into. Oh, we said we wanted to stay away from the gills. We're gonna stay away from the gills. Like that. I have multiple ones coming off of this one. Couple of small ones kind of in the distance, just like they're behind all these eyes. I do like this arm. Do we add the arm or we don't add the arm? I think we add the arm. So we're gonna go to this, and we're gonna kind of mirror it on this side. I like that pointed elbow look. Do that with the fat. I think their fingers look. I was gonna say it looked a little realistic, but I think they look pretty good. Like creepy fingers. Knuckles like that. And then this is gonna have some meat. And then it gets smaller. I do like the tail design though, so then we're gonna bring that over. But for the shoulder, kind of the shoulder connect off of the neck. Assuming this is like the neck here. I said I wanted to stay away from it. Maybe we bring the gills in, and we have some of that liquid coming out. Gotta like the gills. And then on that side, kind of have it come back. Maybe. That's fine. And then for this, I'm gonna take up this side. We're gonna insist that you can't see this side of the mouth all like that. So maybe it comes up like back here. Like it's like kind of here. but you can see where this giant like central quad-esque like arm kind of comes out and connects, and then from here we'll have the webbing. That look gross enough. Something like this. And then kind of like sharp elbows. I go back. I'll try it horned. Maybe it's like it's just a growth in the arm. That happened. And then we had like this. I want to make the forearm look a little bit more like mangled. And maybe make this look more scaly. Like this comes from a plate or something that's on the arm. Maybe less is more. Something like this. Like that. This I don't really want to nail. So we have the finger that comes out. It's kind of like tucked up under itself. We can't have that one be bigger than the one, or can we? Maybe this hand is like reaching out, and this one's more like the foundation. So like these ones are. I gotta rethink this. Maybe these are the knuckles, and the fingers are kind of like. Let's say the fingers are like bent in on themselves, except. He doesn't have like regular fingers, obviously. They don't necessarily apply the same logic as like our fingers would. So you can like kind of tuck his fingers under his own hand. If you can kind of see, you can see that. So that wouldn't be like that. That'd probably be more like this. This one has to be split out. Like this. That looks gross. And then we'll have one this way. Like it's kind of walking back on itself. So if you can imagine, these are kind of like tucked underneath itself, and then this knuckle would be brought to the side. Like he's trying to get his balance, but his fingers are broken or slipping. Maybe a little bit of ripped knuckle to kind of show they're broke. And then for this arm, maybe this one's sticking out more. So we have this elbow, this back a little bit, so the forearm and the fingers are more like they're more in your face. Or you kind of have this be held together by like tissue. Like the muscle grew out of the forearm and just attached itself to this like scale armor. And then we want kind of like that tricep, so that shoulder kind of be like drawn back more like this. And then for the gills, the neck, have like these cow spots on his armor. That one kind of looks like a paw print, but I'm gonna keep it. And the way this looks, I want it to kind of be fluent. So it's like one arm. The stomach. And kind of just, we're gonna go like a big, cause it kind of has like a frog feel to it. So I'm gonna go with like a croak type big neck with maybe like acid is stored. It's like the back lore of the monster. We have the like skin flap. Kind of just like, honestly, probably connect down here, right? So you can even see all that. And then this would have its own thing, because this is kind of like the stomach slash like neck. And that's what definitely helps mascaras on it, just because it's where it's located. Maybe it has like a hole, and when it gets agitated, it kind of just like leaks out. Like this. That's gross. For the back, I say we keep the fish thing. Drag this more on the page. Kinda need to move. Should we move it or just kind of extend its body? Because it'd have a hunchback kind of like this. Maybe we take this. We're gonna make this more ugly, like that. And this has a piece that connects down the back like this. So it goes up like that, and then that stretches through this. Need like a different, maybe it comes in on itself, like that too can be a weapon, and then we'll kind of work that in later. This body is going to come off of the neck, kind of come down, like just kind of like it's resting flat. Should come all the way down, like it's sitting on the ground. We should probably angle this back just to add more to that. And I like the double fin. Maybe the fin comes off of this side. Gonna have to have some pieces messed up. Can't have a perfect tail. That don't make sense. And then this is gonna have to be roughed up because it's dragging on the ground. Maybe it's like some flesh being dragged behind it. Something like that. Yeah, it's too much. Just like a little piece or something. Something like that. And then this part, for this to make sense, this would kind of have to be armored. So we'll do like this. goes on in the skin, kind of behind the scenes, and then this is gonna be like tissue, muscle type stuff going on. Does that look like? I don't like how that looks. We're gonna have to redo the skin. Maybe it just has like a slither like this. Something like that. That's that. And this comes down. Yeah, this goes like oh, so it makes a little more sense. Up and down like this. Cause I want this to connect more to the back. Maybe like drops down and loops again, and then this kind of keeps it in place. For like that. I don't know how we got this from a Leon, but it works. I don't know what more we would add now. You know, it's kind of complete. Now we just have the color, which is my least favorite part. In case you guys were wondering, I hate coloring. We've been going for an hour, which isn't bad. It's actually a pretty good time. That means it gives us about half an hour to draw. Half an hour to color. Which, I'm going to try something new for this. I'm going to try adding a layer and painting over it. So, we got to get some nasty greens, which means we're going to be working kind of in this like dark. We're at 4, so we're turning it back down. Dark green like this. Let's get some like bio mixed in, so it'll be something like that. Let's get some yellow. We're gonna get yellow because of the. Actually, let's do. Let's do a piece at a time. I don't want to overwhelm ourselves. So we'll pull the dark first. Start dark, work light. Or just start light, work dark. Maybe we start light and work dark. Okay. And then we have layer 1. We're going to turn this back down to, we'll do 8. All of this to be. Oh, I need to take a water break. Where's my water? It is 9 o'clock. I should be halfway done with my last portion, and I still have like 16 ounces to go. How much is in a bottle of water? 8 ounces? I think it's 16. I want to stay up. I want to finish it. I'm going to finish it today because it's the closest I ever got. I'm under 8. Ow. And now I have a cramp. That's fine. Cramps are fine. There's a new way for me to color, because usually I don't color like this. Usually I draw a picture and then I'll kind of what do you say? I color over the picture. It never really works out for me. So I'm taking a different approach. That's another thing too I don't really like about a lot of, not to say that they're not good, but another thing I don't like about a lot of like YouTube related drawing channels is they never really walk you through the process of like how they design and, you know, things along those lines. Actually, another thing we can do too, which is popular for myself, when I'm recording clips for other parts of this channel, I like to play, or like to try to do Would You Rathers, and we definitely have the time now. So, what's a little bit of reading, you know? A little bit of reading while we go through. So, the first question is, would you rather see how you die or see who you will marry? Alright, well, for me, this is kind of easy because I'm already married to my beautiful wife who would punch me in the throat if I said anything different. But all seriousness aside, or all joking aside, all seriousness, it's amazing. So there'd be no reason for me to pick the second option. I guess it'd be cool to see how I'll die. It's gonna be mad scary though, because imagine if it's just like a super generic like way of dying, like getting hit by a car or something like that. You don't really have any substance to why or like where or how, you know? Like if you get hit by a taxi in New York, then you know, like, yo, never go next to taxis or you'll die. But if it's just like something like super fast and it's like dark and like all you see is like headlights and then boom, you're dead, then you have to be aware of cars or anything with headlights or whatever resembles like that way of dying for the rest of your life all the time, because you'll never know like specifically what it is that's gonna kill you. So like if you ever let down your guard, then you'll probably die, you know? But yeah, I definitely want to know how I die. I'm gonna color the bone for now. We're gonna erase it later. We know this is the bone. Should probably make the brush smaller too, but it's fine. I like this. We're not going too fast. We're not going too slow. It gives us time to kind of like sit, look at the details, kind of think about how we're gonna shade the rest of this. Something like that. And then like while you're doing each piece too, it helps not to go slow. Like I know you could do like a filler probably, just like fill the color, but there's something about just color, like hand coloring, that, like takes you back to the root. Also, I don't know how to do that. That's beside the fact. But it takes you back to the roots of like, you know, before you had all this technology to like do the work pretty much for you, like autofill and all that stuff. Like you kind of have to force yourself to do the hard part. Like I want to say do the hard part, but it's like the fun part. Because when I was a kid, before I knew, like how to draw the way I do now, and even then, like I'm still a work in progress. Everybody is. Uh, I love the color because it's just all you had to do was just pick a color. Obviously, you're coloring. It makes sense. But in all seriousness, like you just had to pick a color, and as long as you stayed like not like me, and you stayed in the lines, that's really easy. Here, it's gonna get a little rough. We're gonna have to go back and clean this up a little bit with a different brush, most likely. Something smaller. And tweak that a little bit. But it kind of takes the fun out of coloring nowadays because you don't really sit down. It's also, if you're that type of person, which I am, it's kind of like meditating or like calming to kind of sit and have a task where you don't really have to focus on anything. You're just going. I guess this also helps with my commentary as well when it comes to being a content creator. Because realistically, no matter how successful I get, if I get more successful than I am now, I'm still going to categorize myself as a content creator because that's what I do. I make content. But it's just crazy to think because for so long I had like I want to say like a fear of creating content. I had a fear of being judged for how I talk or like what I'm doing. And then I realized pretty early in that fact that it doesn't really matter. I don't want to hit this. I want this to be darker. I don't know what color this is going to be. I'm thinking like a pinkish, teal type deal here, and then maybe like a yellowish. So I want this to be the dark color in that. And maybe go back later and add some more. I'm trying to figure out how I want to color this. Go like this, I guess. Like that, but yeah, so like when I was thinking about getting started, I was literally thinking about making a YouTube channel for the last so how old am I now? I had to do some quick math. The last 4 years or so. I've thought about doing like the YouTube thing or going on Steam and making videos over there, and I just kind of avoided it because as crazy as it sounds, I was terrified of people's opinions, which if you meet me in person or anywhere but here, I'm like the last person that gets scared. I'll talk to strangers in public. I'll joke with people at the bar. I'm old enough to do that. I'll do all that. But the minute you sit me down in front of a camera or a microphone, everything that you say is now permanent, And you have to worry about I guess you don't have to, but it's hard not to think about how people are going to judge you, because even if it's good or bad, people are still going to judge you. And like for the longest time, I didn't want to be judged harshly. Obviously, there's always gonna be like constructive and non-constructive criticism. But I think I let the idea of people not liking me versus liking me or my channel kind of hindered me from starting the process, which in turn just weakened, or I guess hindered my progress when it came to doing what I wanted to do. Because I have a manga idea, and I think like in my head I've probably like mentally drawn out and written like 3 seasons of this manga. Right, I'm not gonna say anything about it online because for people that come on and see it, I don't want to steal my ideas. Not to say that like I don't have faith in people, to be honest, but let's be honest. Everybody nowadays is so quick to throw somebody else's dreams under the bus to make it further, like make it that like one step easier for them or anything like that. But long story short, I have this manga idea, and it's super dope. Like if you hear it, you're like, it sounds like you're just watching TV. Which, if you are into like story writing and character creation and backstories and storyboards and stuff like that, when you tell people your ideas, or you tell people, like, let's say you watch a movie or like one of your favorite shows, and you get all excited about that show and you're telling them all these details, like that makes them to a level want to watch, or at least interested to listen, because you have that much enthusiasm, you have that much energy just explaining what it is that you're talking about, or like whatever the thing is that you watch, or whatever. So when I tell people, because I've told a couple of my family members and close friends, and I trust them to either not remember what I told them, not to say that they don't care or anything like that, but honestly they probably don't. They just listen to me because it's me. But when I tell them my ideas, it's like, oh my god, that's so good, you gotta do this, you gotta do that, and then you kind of start the big project because you have all this stuff on your mind, and then you quickly realize that it's not that easy. Like there's steps. There's people that go to school for years to get where you want to be, and there's people that spend years perfecting their craft and hours and hours and hours behind scenes, and you're just now seeing them at the level that they're at, and you don't really give it much thought. Like I watch YouTube all the time, and I watch anything as far left as like I can't off the top of my head name the series that it is, but it's like 2 guys without a shirt on go out with like wood tools and like build a hut, or like build a pool or something like that. Like I'm sure everybody's seen, if they haven't watched it, they have like seen it on like social media or something. But I watched something like as far left as that to like as far right as like one of the biggest things that I watch is Hermitcraft for Minecraft. Sorry, I know I'm mentioning other parts of the channel here, but it's also part of what I do. So them being like one of the bigger inspirations for kind of what made me like, I could do this. I watch them all the time, and never did I mean, you see it and you're like, oh yeah, I could do this, but never did I sit down and really truly process or wrap my brain around how much time and energy went into being able to record and edit and entertain the way that a lot of the guys on that series do. Like there's so much that goes into, which if you don't make videos or do anything like that, there's a lot that goes into making videos. Like a lot. It's not hard, and to a certain extent you need to have an imagination and kind of have like a general idea before you start anything like that, at least for how you want your content to come out. But when I first started editing videos, especially when I didn't understand the software and kind of didn't have like a flow to editing, I'd probably edit videos like it'd be like a just rough estimate, it'd be like an hour maybe of gameplay, and just watching YouTubers and like kind of how they do this, you always have like an idea. So I kind of knew how I wanted to cut it and transition and stuff like that. But once I started and did that, like I made the video, I cut the video, I kind of did like overlays with the audio and like re-recorded parts, like certain parts, like talk over myself and like try to make jokes here and there, and visually rendered it so that the picture quality was better, and you know the recording was like the best it could. Everything, it took hours for me to find a point where I was like, you know what, I'm okay with this. I'm okay with this being what I publish. So if there was a long story short of what I was saying, it'd be, if you do have a favorite YouTuber or you're thinking about it, just know that there's a lot more that goes on behind the scenes than you think. And if you watch what somebody does and you're like, wow, this is amazing, just know that they put so much more time into what you're saying than just what you're saying. Because I did, and I'm by no means a professional, but I kind of understand the process now. So
It's so hard. You still here. You build there because it's hard.
But I don't know. After becoming a content creator, I have a lot more respect for people that do it, I guess, or like, because I have like my foot in the door, I kind of understand it more, so I have like a greater appreciation for some of the things that I see, because some people have a lot of patience when it comes to putting time into what they do. They also love it, and there's a lot more like seasoned people than non-seasoned people, I like to think. So I was trying to figure out what happened to my brush, but it's always gonna take time to get to the point that you see somebody like that. Anyway, back to the not so seriousness, I guess. Would you rather live in a library where books are your only form of entertainment, or live in a prison cell where you have access to any channel on TV? So, pretty much live in a prison cell and watch TV, or live in a library where it's your only form of entertainment. Well, that's a hard question, because do you live in a library where there's no more like there's no like you can't watch something and get entertained, or is it like you can't do anything fun but read books? Like you can't do anything but read books, or you can't do anything but live in a cell and watch TV, or can you do other things and then like that's your form of like entertainment? Like I can't watch sports or I can't watch YouTube or anything like that. Like I can just read a book or I can just watch whatever I want to watch on TV, but be in prison. Because if you can do like fun stuff, because it says no, it says only form of entertainment. So I want to say that he can't do anything else, which in both scenarios that's just terrible. Like it just sounds terrible. I don't know why anybody would want that. Not that anybody would want either of these things, but I don't know. I guess I'd be in. I guess I'd live in a library. Because at least I'm not in prison. Because then you have to deal with both atmospheres and like kind of like what they entail. And I'd rather be quiet than have to worry about, you know, whatever else. I don't really think YouTube is the place to have that conversation. But yeah, I guess I live in a library. I think in my whole life, from start to finish, reading like actual like paged books, not like Dr. Seuss or anything like that, but like actual like, you know, like grade 12 or higher like reading level type books. I've read maybe like 3 or 4 books. That's it. And I know it sounds terrible, and like it is, I guess, but I just don't like reading. Reading's not really. Like I said, I like watching YouTube. You know, like I rather watch YouTube than I guess read a book and better myself. So I guess I'm a little bit of a hypocrite, but yeah, I rather live in a library. Let's see. Next question. Would you rather work as a cop or work as a fireman? Well, considering that I have family that are both, I kind of know the pros and the cons of both, I guess. And I know that, be that as it may, physically, like per schedule and trying to like maintain a family, I know a fighter is more tedious. Just because of your hours and your training and your conditioning and what is it called? I forget what it's. There's a word I'm looking for and I can't think of it right now. But firefighter in my eyes is definitely harder. And not to call him out, but one of my brothers is a cop, because I have multiple brothers, multiple sisters. One of my brothers is a cop, and for instance, one time he was on call and he got called to a strip club, and I guess the woman was on something, she was doing some type of drug, and he got the body slam a stripper. And I feel like that'd be like all around that'd be more fun than I guess being stressed and fighting fighters. So, like I said, they both have their drawbacks, but I kind of know both sides of the coin. And I guess for my personality more, I like being a cop. Not just the body slam strippers, but you know, that's a plus. You get to do more stuff like that and it's accepted versus just being called like a shitty member of society or having somebody else get called on you. Like instead of you being 911, now they're calling 911. So yeah. What is the next one? Would you rather listen to everything but your favorite musician and artist, or listen to only your favorite musician slash artist? I listen to everything but my favorite because I have a lot of. I'm sorry if you hear my son being a little crazy. He is indeed a little crazy. He's like a 2 foot crazy, and he's always crazy. But yeah, when it comes to music, I don't really have too many I don't, just at least from memory, from like who I listen to, because I don't really listen just to like one person. Like there's not like one specific person I could be like, oh wow, they really they really did that. Like I really like just their music. So that's not really a hard question for me, I guess. Because I listen to the same general genre of music, but I don't really listen to like a one person. And also, I've been drawing so long on like just this color on so many parts of the body that I forget what I wanted to do a lot for like these parts. Because like as I'm drawing or as I'm coloring, I kind of have like an idea in my mind how I want to like blend or add colors, and I'm completely forgetting by the time I'm getting around the page. Which I guess this is the hardest part because it's the most blockiest. Is that a word? Blockiest? The most demanding task, I guess. And again, yes, I can make the brush a little bigger, but why? Make slow, steady progress. Also, I like the challenge of having to start and finish a project on stream, because I have time to look over and be like, oh, I've been on for this long, or have like that pressure from you guys to start and finish a piece. Because obviously if I leave it like this, you guys will be like, what? He's just gonna leave us hanging? He's not gonna finish, Maybe you guys will. At least for me, I'll be like, oh, I left this like this, because I have a tendency of starting stuff like this and not. Me being honest time, I have a tendency of starting projects I don't finish. I'm sure I've said that before. But honestly, these two things, the Minecraft channel and this channel, are two things that I really want to stick, because regardless if it takes off or not, I'm gonna do it because I like to do it. I love playing Minecraft. I love talking to people, and I love drawing. So the fact that I can have a platform where I can do two things like this is super dope. So I may start streaming on Twitch though, because I've heard a lot of people say like, oh yeah, this is the way to do it, you need to be on Twitch and then have people come over to YouTube. But it's just easier to have YouTube do the videos, because they don't have to worry about recording and editing. I can just go on a live, set it to my playlist, so when I stop streaming, I don't have to edit anything, which makes it sound like I'm super lazy, but honestly my time is pretty packed, especially since I started going back to work today. So I can't say I've been back forever, but when I go to work, I wake up super early, then I want to do like a blend thing here, just I want to remember. So I do like a 4:30 in the morning, wake up. Then I have a gym session for about 2 hours, maybe like 2.5 hours, until like 6:37, and then from there I have to take a shower, shave. Obviously, because I probably stink, and I gotta get ready for work, and then I go to work from 7:30, 7:45 to about 5 in the evening. I try to spend 2-3 hours with my family uninterrupted because I tend to get distracted easily. So I'm trying to give them their time, with me not being on my phone, not getting distracted by, like TV and stuff. So I wanna give them their time. Did I say I want this to be green? I think I said I want this to be green. I don't know, we'll see. That's ugly. That's what we're not gonna do. This is what we're not gonna do. Sorry for all the clicking, but we need to go back. We're gonna do this. Oop. Didn't mean to do that. Go back. Drop it on this. And then we're gonna go. Actually, just erase this. I don't like how that blurred together. I think I put the paint too wet. Which, if you don't understand what that means, I'll show you real quick. So they try to make it. Photoshop tries to make the tools as I guess as realistic as possible. So if you go up here and you make the wetness less or more, then it'll blend harder or softer. So this, the color looks the same as this. Alright. Let's actually I'm about to go back. We'll turn the brightness, or we'll turn the wetness all the way up. So these are essentially the same colors, right? Now let's say we go over here and we get the dark. Alright, and we turn the wetness, so we turn it down to on the lower end. When I blend it with this, you see how the green kind of stays there versus this? It doesn't really blend that easily with this wet versus this wet. I said that backwards. This wet, when it's more wet, so this is 100% wetness. So that sounded confusing, so I'm gonna reset. So wetness we'll do something like 10. Alright, same color. So we agree this is the same color as this one, right? We're gonna go to, we'll go to 50. And then let's say I wanted to blend these two. Alright, this is the 10%, this is the 100%. So this one's more wet. So when we rub it, it should smear better because this one's more dry, less wet, and this one shouldn't. So that's that. You see how much this one spreads more? And if we go in, you know, like really try to spread it versus like really trying to spread this one spreads more. You see how that color blends more versus this one that doesn't really blend like that much. So that's the difference. And sometimes it can kind of mess up your coloring here. So we're just gonna go here. We're gonna rename these because I really suck at renaming them. We're gonna do this bod 1, and then from here we're gonna create another layer. Then we're gonna go on top. We're gonna go on top of. Yeah, we're gonna go on top of. We'll move it, if need be. But on top of, I'm gonna name this bod 2 for the body color. And then from here with a 6, we should be able to do more of the details. So for this, I think the green here, we're gonna do more like a yellow green, so it's gonna get lighter. Here it's gonna be like a peach-ish, like a gross red with peach. The dark greens, let's say the light source is coming from. Let's say the light's coming from. Which way is this? So this is. In reading it, right, like pretend like we're drawing the arrow. I guess we can do it here. The light, or he's coming from like this way back, right? And then the way he's standing, this part is more forward than this part, right? You can kind of like see it like that. So when we do the light, it's gonna be, you kind of have to like segment this layer from this layer to this layer, and like coloring first, and then second, obviously, you know, moving back. So here we need to decide where the light's coming from, and I think I need to choose a lighter color. I think we're gonna do light sources. I'm trying to think how I want the shadows. So I want the sun here coming up, so the shadows are on this back side. If I want, we'll say sun because of just of the light. If I want the light coming here and then have the shadows here, which I think makes the most sense. Like the shadow, or actually the light's behind them, so like all this would be dark for the most part, and then light would be, yeah, we'll do that. So this is gonna be the light source. Alright, this is shining here. This is shining off to the side, and then there. Alright. And obviously we're gonna delete this whole part here, so we don't have to worry about it that much. But for now, we have that. Let's go back to the dark color. So this is shining on kind of like the back of the arm because that part's back more. So this part here is going to be colored more. And like I said, this is going to be a new style of coloring for me, so we'll see what works and what doesn't. So what I'm thinking is, we have strands, Makes it a little easier for blending. So I'm just gonna do like cross blends like that and try to blend it in. And see if this works. Because worst comes to worst, if it doesn't, we can always just delete this layer. Or we could always undo and then delete layer. Actually, so we don't waste time, we'll do kind of a test on this one. Shaded. This part is probably completely shaded. Just a little bit of sun. I want to say most of this is shaded. It kind of hides behind the wrist. It's a weird cut off. Imagining shadows isn't the best thing for me. So I'm imagining this finger isn't like that. And then be like this part. And all this is just a test to make sure that the way that I want to do this is going to work. Because if I'm being honest, I haven't said it yet, which I know I have. I've never colored like this. So all this is experimental. Which, if I do say myself, I do believe that it has turned out well up until this point. It is blocky-ish, but, you know, what's not? It is almost 10 o'clock here, which is not good. So I need to kind of speed it up a little bit. Let's see. We have a blender. Kind of how that works. Can we? this be a better brush? Oh, this isn't even the brush. We might have better luck with this. Let's take this down to like a 13 with a wetness of 65. Next. We're gonna turn this off. We're gonna make another one. Make this 3. Let's see if we can. We're gonna do a booty rough finish of this and faster because I do need to start going to bed. It's about that time. So we're gonna do some of this. What this is. I don't want to do this, but I kind of have to. I can't really figure out how I want to paint the rest of this, and I like the way this looks, but you can tell it's rushed, and I obviously don't want it to be rushed. So I think we're going to. Well, I know I'm gonna call it here, and then the next time we come on for the live stream, we're gonna finish this. I haven't got it down yet to where I can kind of start and finish a piece in 2 hours, I guess. We got the design, we got the basic colors. I just don't want to render it, or maybe we'll do like an in between episodes. Like maybe I'll do it. No, I want to do it on stream. So we'll leave this here. We're gonna turn off this because maybe keep that. I definitely love the airbrush more than definitely like the airbrush more than the hard paint. So airbrush seems to be the way to go. It's gonna be a lot more cleanup work for like the areas around this around this spot. But we're gonna save as. Well, I'll do all this off screen. So. Thank you for watching, everyone. My name is Benze. This is the very first episode of Street Art. I call it Street Art because a little bit about myself. From a small town that's, as it says, honestly, I grew up on the west side of my city in the ghetto. So I feel like street art is kind of like a shout out to like where I came from and kind of how I became who I am now, especially when it comes to like my style and kind of where a lot of my ideas come from and the way that I think. So just for a little background of the name, but I think we did what the title says. From an empty canvas, we now have this merge of, let's see how close we kind of made them look. We're gonna have a merge of so these are obviously it's gonna be hard to make a person because we have to make a boss for Metroid, but using these two references, I feel like we kind of got it. You know, he has the comb over, he has the one eye. We have the comb over, except he has a lot of eyes. There's the big eye. And he has the like broad like stance, you know, how the arms kind of come out. I try to follow that. The legs are kind of just like, you know, they're blocky. So I kind of put them together, you know, kind of blocky. Obviously, you know, it's completely different than the original image of Leon, but we know this is him. If you squint hard enough and imagine hard enough, it's him. And then for the character, I can see him being a character in here. You kind of have the wings, which kind of look fishy. I don't see anything specifically that looks like a fish. Maybe like this if it wasn't so caterpillar-ish. Maybe this if it has a back part. But I like this. It's different. It kind of looks like something you might have seen before, but then at the same time it looks unique. So I'm looking really forward to rendering this bit, or not rendering, but coloring and, you know, doing all that on stream, because this is a process. It is a process. We've been on stream for 2 hours and we have, what I like to say is a success of a live stream. We got a very strong generation up, very good illustration. We kind of got the base color in. We're working with a couple of brushes, trying to find like a good foundation of how to mix textures. So we're making it places. Now we can spend the next 2 hours on our live stream on Wednesday doing the color. So that's that. If you guys have enjoyed the content, share your ideas with me, please. Let me know how I did. Did I do well? Did I not do well? Is there things that I could do better? I'm sure there is. But I won't know until you tell me. And I won't know if you like it unless you tell me you like it. If you don't, I'm still going to do it because that's just who I am. As always, you guys are amazing. And my name is Benze. This is our very first episode of Street Art. And we'll be back every week at, I want to say, we'll say 8 o'clock. We're live stream Monday through Friday every day at 8 o'clock Western time US. So, there you have it. I've said it. That's the schedule. We'll stick to it. Starting today, every other day will be, if it's not, so since today we did drawing, tomorrow's live stream will be Minecraft. So, if you don't want to come back for, whatever the video is for tomorrow, just come back the day after. It'll be something different. But yeah, that's it. I don't think I said anything else. I don't think I need to say anything else, at least. This is this. Please like, please comment. It would mean a lot to hear back from the audience, and obviously, the content gets better with more interaction, and it helps me as a producer and a content creator if I have that feedback. So don't hold back. Negative criticism is still criticism, and it still helps. So I'm done yapping away. As always, you guys are amazing, and we'll see you next time. Have a good one, and stay amazing. Bye.